we will study lysosomes, mitochondria, plastids. Okay, so let's start with the first one, that is lysosomes. Okay, so now observe this diagram. Yes, what can you see? We have a single membrane bound structure. There is a single membrane which is like the boundary of lysosome, and the inner space is filled with different types of digestive enzymes. These digestive enzymes help in the digestion of complex materials and convert it into simpler nutrients which can be easily used by the cell. So let's say there is a cell like amoeba which has ingested food. Now food contains complex materials. It needs to be converted into simpler ones, right? So the lysosomal enzymes, the enzymes present in the lysosome will help in the digestion process. They will convert the complex materials into simpler ones. Okay, so let's see the structure and the functions of lysosomes. So first, these are very simple. One membrane bound sac like structures which are filled with variety of digestive enzymes. So these enzymes can digest variety of proteins, nucleic acids like DNA, RNA, then enzymes which can break different types of carbohydrates, fats, right? It has variety of digestive enzymes. Now these enzymes are made by the RER, that is rough endoplasmic reticulum. Yes, याद है हमने पिछले क्लास में पढ़ा है endoplasmic reticulum, rough and smooth. Also the Golgi apparatus. So rough endoplasmic reticulum has ribosomes on its surface, right? These ribosomes produce proteins. Now these proteins may be the lysosomal enzymes, right? So RER, rough endoplasmic reticulum, produce these lysosomal enzymes. Then these proteins, these enzymes are carried to the Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus is specialized in modification and packaging of materials. So all these enzymes, the digestive enzymes, are packed by the Golgi apparatus to form a vesicle. And this vesicle is released by the Golgi apparatus, and now we call it lysosomes, right? So the enzymes which are present in lysosomes are produced by the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Now due to various metabolic activities going on in the cell, different waste materials, organic waste is generated. These waste materials also need to be degraded. So who will help here? The enzymes, the powerful enzymes are also capable to digest these waste materials. And that is why lysosomes, they not only digest the complex food material but also the waste, the complex materials which are generated by the cell itself, right? Which can be waste material of the cell. Now when we compare plants and animals, right? Animals do not store waste in their bodies, and that is why they need lysosomes in more number. Whereas in plants, okay, in plant cells, waste materials are also commonly stored in structures like vacuoles, and that is why plant cells have very few lysosomes. Okay, see the reason here why plants have very few lysosomes? Because generally in most of the plants the waste is stored, right? The waste is stored in structures like vacuoles, and that is why they do not need the digestive cell organelles here, right? Now let's see all the functions of lysosomes. So as it is digestive system of the cell, right? It has the digestive enzymes. So if any bacteria or virus tries to invade the cell or successfully enters the cell, then the enzymes present in lysosome will degrade the bacterial and viral particles. Yes or no? Bacterial cells and viruses will be completely degraded by the lysosomal enzymes, and hence it also provides immunity, right? So here you can see the cell. If there is any pathogen, maybe a virus or a bacteria which tries to infect the cell, but we have the powerful enzymes of lysosomes which eat away, which basically degrade the pathogen, right? As the pathogen is killed, as the bacteria or the virus is killed, then the infection will not occur, right? This is how lysosomes are very important. Next, they also remove the worn out cellular organelles and remove all the organic debris, right? So if there is any waste produced by the cell or the older cell organelles, okay, like let's say we have a mitochondria in the cell which is old, or let's say it is damaged, right? Such damaged or old parts of the cells, old cell organelles, these also need to be degraded. Who will degrade them? Lysosomes, right? Worn out will be the damaged lysosome, damaged cell organelles. Waste materials will be the organic debris. So here you can see again the cell with lysosomes, right? Wherever you have the old parts, lysosomal enzymes will degrade and take care of all the waste materials also. This is known as autolysis. इस process को हम क्या बोलेंगे? Autolysis. Auto means self, lysis means breakdown. So here the lysosome is responsible for breakdown of its cellular material. जिस सेल में lysosome present है उसी सेल के कुछ parts. Now generally यहाँ पे हम बात करें old damaged parts. सही है? These are basically degraded and this is autolysis. Self degradation, self breakdown, right? Self digestion. And hence lysosomes are also called demolition squads of the cells, right? Because they help in removal of the damaged structures of the cells and also waste of the cell. That is why demolition squads, right? Next, if there is any disturbance in the cellular metabolism, right? Or if the cell gets old, damaged, the entire cell is very old, it is not functioning properly, there is disturbance in its normal metabolism, then the lysosomes will burst and the enzymes present in lysosome eat away and digest the entire cell itself. Yes, इसका मतलब देखो, we have a cell which is old now, it contains lysosomes. And this lysosome, okay, its enzymes are basically degrading the own cell. And that is why they are also known as suicidal bags of the cells. Right, everyone? Here again we can see the lysosomes. The enzymes are released by the lysosomes and they degrade the cell itself. Right? Therefore, lysosomes are also called suicide bags of the cell as they are responsible for killing the cells in which they are present. Now the next cell organelle, that is mitochondria. Now these are called the powerhouses of the cells. Why these will be called powerhouses of the cells? Yes, anyone? Powerhouse. Why powerhouse? Because here energy is produced, right? Energy is produced in the form of ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate molecules. ATP or adenosine triphosphate, these are certain compounds which store very high amount of energy in their bonds. When these chemical bonds are broken, the energy is released which we will use to do different activities. Now these energy molecules, high energy molecules or high energy compounds like ATP are produced inside the mitochondria, right? Majority of the energy is produced in the mitochondria and hence these are called the powerhouses. Okay, let's see the structure and function now. Now here you can see mitochondria. It has two membranes. Okay, देखो लाइसोसोम में हमने क्या पढ़ा था? सिंगल मेम्ब्रेन था. लेकिन माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया में कितने मेम्ब्रेन्स है? Two membranes, right? Outer and inner membrane, right? It is a double membrane structure. Now the outer membrane is like continuous, straight, right? And it is porous. It is more permeable as compared to inner membrane. Now the inner membrane is deeply folded. Okay, so if we try to draw a 2D diagram of this, we have the outer membrane, right? And then we have the inner membrane. Now, inner membrane is folded like this. Okay, inner membrane is folded. Why foldings? Because जितने ज़्यादा foldings है, उतना ज़्यादा surface area होगा. More the surface area of the inner membrane, more ATP molecules. That means more energy will be produced. Right? Yes. So remember the the complexes, the proteins which are required for formation of ATP, they are present in the inner membrane, and that is why the surface area of inner membrane is increased by the foldings. Okay, remember, outer membrane is porous, inner membrane is deeply folded. Now these foldings here, ये folding है देखो ऐसे, ये सारे foldings है, सही है? These foldings are known as cristae. All these foldings are known as cristae. Clear? See here. Next, due to the presence of these folds, that is cristae, larger surface area is produced for efficient functioning. Now what is the function of mitochondria? Energy production. So more energy will be produced. Also remember, mitochondria have their own DNA and ribosomes. Very, very important. So far we have seen that ribosomes may be free in the cytoplasm, or they may be attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. If they are attached, then it is the rough endoplasmic reticulum, right? Now, DNA, the main genetic material, is present inside the nucleus. Apart from the nuclear DNA, mitochondria is a cell organelle, okay, in eukaryotic cells which have its own DNA, okay, it's the mitochondrial DNA. Clear? Always remember, very important. Therefore, they are capable of making some of their own proteins, okay. All proteins cannot be synthesized by mitochondria, but DNA present hai, that means genes or information for protein synthesis is present in this DNA. Ribosomes are also present. What is the function of ribosomes? Protein synthesis, right? Yes. So here you can see DNA is present. Ribosomes are also present. Therefore, mitochondria are capable of making or synthesizing some of their own proteins. Now, there are some other proteins which will be produced by the other ribosomes in the cytoplasm, and then they will be provided to the mitochondria. All the proteins which are required in mitochondria are not produced by mitochondria itself. Some proteins can be produced in the mitochondria itself. Okay, so remember, this is very important question which is asked in your examinations also, right? Which cell organelles have their own DNA apart from nucleus? So we have mitochondria, and then we have one more, that is chloroplast. Okay, it is one of the plastids. Chloroplast is involved in photosynthesis, right? So mitochondria and chloroplast have their own DNA apart from the nucleus. Okay, nucleus is the main genetic material. Okay, now mitochondria oxidize, it breaks down carbohydrates and fats, okay, complex materials basically, right? Carbohydrates matlab isme sugars present hai, right? So different sugars, different fats, different other organic compounds are oxidized. That means they are broken down with the help of enzymes to release the energy in the form of ATP. What is ATP? Adenosine triphosphate. What is ATP? Adenosine triphosphate. याद रहेगा सबको, एडिनोसिन ट्राइफॉस्फेट. ओके, ATP. Oxidize means to break down, break carbohydrates and fats. Oxidize मतलब यहाँ पे ऑक्सीजन में इन्वॉल्व होता है, सही है, राइट? Why do we need oxygen? Yes, we breathe in, we breathe out, we need oxygen, right? Why do we need oxygen? That oxygen is used in the mitochondria of our cells. Okay, याद रखना है सबको. Oxygen is very important. Presence of oxygen is very important for the complete breakdown of carbohydrates, fats to release lot of energy. And energy का मतलब यहाँ पे क्या release होता है? Adenosine triphosphate. ATP molecules are produced. Okay, so you can see carbohydrates, fats, all these molecules are broken by the enzymes to produce lot of energy in the form of ATP. Now let's list out the functions of mitochondria. So very important, mitochondria produce energy in the form of ATP, which is the energy currency of the cell. Now why ATP molecules are known as energy currency? See, whatever we do, okay, any organism, okay, whether a bacteria, plant, animal, any living organism, We need energy to do various activities for various metabolic reactions, right? Now, ये energy कहाँ से मिलती है हमें? Yes, now हम बोलेंगे we eat food and we get energy. But this food has complex substances. These are broken down into simpler nutrients like glucose, amino acids, right? Then these simpler nutrients are used inside the cell, right? And finally, complete breakdown occurs in the mitochondria. So whatever energy is present in these simpler nutrients like glucose is ultimately used to produce ATP. So whatever we do, यहाँ पे एनर्जी खर्च होती है, मतलब एटीपी बॉडी हैव टू डू एनी एक्टिविटी, इट नीड्स टू स्पेंड एटीपी मॉलिक्यूल्स इनटू एटीपी, right? It is the energy stored